So in the last episode, we determined that Chat GPT can make buildings using setblock and fill commands, and it's weirdly good at making human hearts. I would recommend watching that video to get some more context if you haven't already seen it. Pretty much we asked Chat GPT to build houses and stuff with setblock and fill commands, but this episode is based on a comment that I got on the previous episode. I didn't even number the last one, episode 1, it was supposed to be a one-off. The comment was by Thanks, for your comment, and said that ChatGPT 4 does have image recognition capabilities, so might actually know what Minecraft buildings look like, and that might have been why it did so well in the challenge. And then they did my job for me and gave me an excellent part 2 idea for my most popular video on my channel. So, very much thank you, I hope I'm saying that correctly. They asked what would happen if you gave ChatGPT an image of the buildings it produced last time and asked it to improve on them. So that's what we're going to do today. Now I did want to mention something about what they said. They said that ChatGPT 4 has image recognition capabilities, and yes, you can send images through the ChatGPT interface and have a text response from ChatGPT saying what's in your image. And I've tried this out, and it's weirdly accurate. It even noticed some things that I didn't even notice in the image. The thing is though, I'm not sure if ChatGPT actually takes in the image, or if the image is sent to another machine learning model that creates a description and sends that to ChatGPT. I think this will be a little bit easier to explain what I mean with image creation, because I can actually give evidence for how that works, and I couldn't find out for image classification. I will say that I am not an expert, but I have been to university, and as part of that computing degree, I had to learn about machine learning models. Now, I haven't actually done anything outside of my university work on AI models further than watching some YouTube videos and talking to ChatGPT. So, now that you know a bit about me, I've left some links in the description to nice videos that I've seen that explain some of the things that these AIs can do. So if you want to start learning about this stuff, I suggest that as a good starting point. Listen to the actual experts, not some idiot on YouTube. Just please, can you just finish watching the idiots episode before you watch the experts? That would be really kind, thank you. I will, throughout this video, state what is my opinion and what we know for a fact, and I'll leave references to everything in the description. So, image creation. We do know that image creation is not done by ChatGPT. That is completed by DALL-E, and OpenAI, the company that make both of those products, will state this. Now, I don't actually know how they communicate with each other, but I have seen some evidence that ChatGPT can only provide text input and give text output, so communication is done through text and just convincing ChatGPT that he has just created an image, through telling it that it's just created an image. So then when you ask it about the image it just created, it's not really confused. This is how I think it happens. When you say to ChatGPT, go make me an image of a house wearing a hat, it's instructed to type a command into its output. We know that ChatGPT is given a list of instructions as text explaining to it how it should behave. This is done before you start talking with it, and you do not see this prompt. It'll say something like, your name is ChatGPT, don't say anything offensive, and if a user asks to create images, type this. Then, when the user asks for image creation, it will type something like, image prompt, brackets, a house wearing a hat. Then, I think there's a middle program in between you and ChatGPT that removes this command and sends the prompt to DALL-E. This middle program then gets the images from DALL-E and sends them to you. Then sends a text prompt to ChatGPT telling it to pretend like it just created some images for the user. This is based on a conversation that I've had with Microsoft Copilot, where it stated it typed a command in its output to trigger image creation, and a Reddit post which states that there was a way to see messages that ChatGPT gets when DALL-E creates an image. This method, they say, has now been patched. Obviously, don't trust what I'm saying entirely. The post could have been faked, and my AI conversation could have been the AI hallucinating information. AI hallucination is just when AIs make something up. Now back to image identification. I have no evidence to suggest that ChatGPT doesn't look at the images, like I can with image creation. For example, OpenAI does state that DALL-E creates images, but never states that ChatGPT doesn't identify images. They always say that it's ChatGPT that looks at the image and comes up with a description, which could be the case. I've seen a little bit about Clip, which is a way of linking together images and descriptions inside of these models, and they could have implemented this into Chat GPT. All I'm saying is that OpenAI do break down the task into different machine learning models, so it is possible that there is communication between Chat GPT and another model that does image descriptions. That's just something to keep in mind that might explain some of the results we get. I would also like to say that I have more data pack experience now, so I know that you can add comments using the hash character to data packs. The problem last time was that ChatGPT was adding them to the end of commands, and they have to be on their own line. Now, to make this video more interesting, am I allowed to skip the first 2 attempts that ChatGPT made of a house? I mean, they were just boxes, and adding any detail to them would improve them, so I don't think that would be very interesting. So let's start with the house where I asked for more detail and go from there. Now, before we ask ChatGPT to improve on the house, there's something I want to try first so we know if ChatGPT actually understands the assignment. So I want to take a picture of the first house and ask ChatGPT to recreate it. So let's have a look at how well it did. Okay, so this is the third house that GPT made, if you needed a reminder of what it looked like or didn't see the last episode. So I'm just going to take a screenshot from the front of the house. I'm not going to do the sides, which might mean that it has less information to go off of, but it hasn't made any houses where the sides or the back are any different from the front, really, so I don't think it's going to have too much of a problem. I've also got this texture pack here which changes the glass so it's not individual panes, it all connects. If it starts having a problem with glass, then I'll remove the texture pack, but it should be fine. So in ChatGPT, I was first thinking of looking back at the same chat that I had with it the first time, but then I thought that it might use the code it generated to get an idea of how to improve it. But also, for what I'm asking for right now, it might just copy and paste the code from its earlier conversation. So I'm going to start with a fresh GPT. Okay, so I did just remember about this, and I went and asked ChatGPT about it. I have turned off memory, which means that ChatGPT won't remember what I've previously said to it, because that would mean that rebuilding the house and improving on the houses would be a lot easier because it could just look at its past code. In our previous conversation, I asked you to create Minecraft buildings using the setblock and fill commands. I've attached one of the houses you created. Can you recreate this house using setblock and fill commands? I will take your output and put it into a 1.21.4 datapack function. So it says, certainly I can write a setblock and fill commands to recreate the house from the image provided. Let's break down the structure into components. The floor wooden... Whoa! Hello. Okay. I haven't used this new version. Is this the writing code version of GPT? I think. Okay, let's just move that to the side for 1 second. So certainly I can write setblock and fill commands to recreate the house from the image as provided. Let's break down the structure into components. So the floor is wooden planks. It is. It got that. The walls are stone bricks and glass panes for the windows. Yep. The roof is dark oak slabs. And the stairs and fences oak materials for the entrance. I'll create the command for each part. The house will start from the origin block of 000 for simplicity. I forgot to mention that. That's interesting that it picked up from that. And it's also good that it picked up on that, because if we didn't have that, then it could have built something miles away. You can adjust the position by placing 000 with the desired coordinates. So I think this is the datapack function. Let's copy that and go and put it in. Clear. And then I can do, hopefully, detailed house recreation. Well, it didn't do bad. It didn't do a bad job. It kind of made it very much more simple. And also thought the roof was, thought maybe the roof should be the other way around. I mean, it's not done, terribly, but it's obvious. I think maybe what I was saying before with maybe it's sending it to another program and just gets a description of the house. That might be what's happening here, where all it has to go on from the house isn't actually what it looks like, but the fact that the walls were stone bricks, the fact that the floor was oak planks, and that these dark oak slabs were here. I mean, it does have the gap in between the slabs, which is quite impressive. I wonder what happens if I ask it to describe the image for me and see what it thinks is in there. Right, okay, so certainly the image appears to show a small Minecraft house which is designed with a simple and compact structure. Here is a detailed description. General structure, dimensions, the house is roughly symmetrical with a rectangular base. Material palette, a mix of oak wood, stone bricks, glass panes, and dark oak materials. Components, floor, made of oak planks, providing a warm wooden base. Walls, the walls are primarily built from stone bricks, giving the house sturdy, medieval-style appearance. The front and back walls feature largely rectangular glass pane windows for a more open and bright look. Entrance, the entrance is central, consisting of a wooden door with 2 wooden fences acting as railings on either side of a small oak plank staircase. Roof, a layered sloped roof design using dark oak slabs, adding a contrasting colour and a traditional aesthetic. The roof extends slightly outward beyond the walls, creating an overhanging for depth and dimension. Windows, 2 large rectangular windows on the front wall, symmetrical on each side of the door. Smaller windows on the sides of the walls for additional light. Aesthetic touches. The house is a balanced mix of wood and stone materials, blending natural and sturdy design elements. The overhang from the roof and this stair-step pattern add an element of depth to the structure. The small wooden fences in the front serve as simple porch-like design. So it does say for the walls are primarily built from stone bricks, and it kind of suggests like oak substances. It kind of says something like that. A mix of wood and stone materials. So it kind of suggests that maybe, because obviously the corners of it of the house are stripped oak logs. So it kind of, in some places, it never actually states stripped oak logs, but it does suggest that it's not entirely stone bricks. So I'm going to ask it what all the materials in the walls were. The walls of the house in the image use 2 primary types of blocks, stone bricks and glass panes. These 2 blocks types make up the entire wall structure, combining the solidity of stone bricks with the openness of glass panes. It doesn't mention the stripped oak logs or the oak planks which are used for the top and bottom of it, which suggests that it maybe can't see that that's the case, that maybe its description is a little bit, whatever method it's got from getting the description is a little bit more general. This is the thing, it did get the shape of the roof though, and that there are gaps in between these slabs. It just put it on the wrong way. For some reason, it's not understanding that these are stripped oak logs. Maybe it doesn't get that, like, this is part of the house. Like, things like the house ends here for some reason. Something's confusing it. Maybe because it can see the stone brick walls inside, but it can't see the stripped oak inside. Okay, so we know that it's not amazing at actually seeing what's in the image. But shall we ask it for an improvement? So I've said, can you write me an MC function file that builds the same house but with improvements? Oop, forgot my question mark. Yeah, so MC function file, that's just what you write to get the functions inside the game, so I can type /function, AI improve detailed house recreation or whatever. So here is the improved version of the house, designed to include enhancements such as more detailed roof layering, an expanded porch area, and an additional depth in the walls using decorative blocks like trapdoors and stairs. This will make the house more visually appealing while keeping it functional. I'm not sure that the original house was very functional with the stair in front of the door. The related function file builds an improved version of the house with expanded porch, trapdoor shutters, decorative stairs, roof improvements, lanterns on the porch, and support beams. Let's see if it does that. Oh, that means there is a problem. It's not there. Right, let me go and have a look. So I think I've found the problem here. I don't think this is a thing you can use. No, you can't have access is vertical. Access needs to equal X, Y, or Z. Let me go and tell it that and see if it can rewrite the code without that bug. It's editing. That's a pretty cool animation as well. And hopefully, there we go. No, not that one. Improved. Oh. I think that some of like the trapdoors and stuff, I think it kind of placed in the floor. So it's got a bigger roof, but the roof is the wrong way again. And then, like, we do have, getting used to Axiom. I've got the Axiom mod, so I can, like, fly through blocks when I'm flying. Yeah, just getting used to that. So it has got a step up and a little porch area, and it's kind of added a fence and a lantern to it. Well, it has added that, but, you know, it doesn't look particularly nice. It's maybe seen more detail as, like, add stairs to the walls. This wouldn't really be done, but you would add stairs to add more detail to a build, maybe. So it kind of got that. Yeah, I mean, it has added more detail, but I don't think this makes the house look better. I don't know if it's kind of getting, like, a little bit worse than what it was, but it's kind of, I think, understanding less about the space that it's in than it was last time, which is a little bit weird. I don't know if something's been changed since that point. I think I was still using GPT-4 for both of them. But it seems like it's less aware of the space, where before we were getting, like, torches placed a bit weirdly, stuff like that. But now we're getting, like, for some reason, trapdoors placed. I think some trapdoors got placed, like, in the floor, so the floor replaced the trapdoors. And the roof's on backwards, and these, like, supports, I guess they're on top of the house, but, like, they should be, like, on the corners or something. It just seems like maybe it's going backwards, and, like, the stairs are a little bit weird. Let's move on. Let's go to another house. Let's see if it can... So next we did some gradients, so I'm wondering if it could improve on the gradients that it did. Because I think with that house, I mean, it'd be able to get... Let me get that up right now. What I'm thinking is if we show this image to it, it will be able to say, oh, this is the gradient here, or I guess maybe this somehow, and kind of go, oh, I can see how this is a gradient to these blocks, but maybe I could add a little bit more blocks to it or something like that. Like, I'm thinking maybe it would be better at this task, because it would be able to, like, just identify the blocks in the gradient and then make a reasonable plan of kind of maybe blocks that can go in between these or something like that. Now I wonder, because it does seem like it's editing this file rather than creating a whole new file. It kind of seems like maybe it's just doing whatever it wants. But because it's editing this file, is it taking this file as an input as well on the design of the house? Which wouldn't be great, because it would mean that its mistakes are going to be continued throughout. So maybe starting a new conversation, if this house isn't very good, maybe starting a new conversation might be a good idea. It has kept everything very close. I'm just noticing everything's very close to the center. I would like to mention that here I noticed with the oak logs, it has actually learnt to use axis equals Y instead of, what was it doing before? Axis equals vertical. Gradient house improved. I mean, it has added more detail. Like, we now have these here. It has filled the inside. It is something that it did with the other house as well. So it kind of has seen that that was the case, which is a little bit weird. It has, so somewhere within what it was looking at, it noted that the inside was filled. The gradient, I guess it was using this gradient. It hasn't really improved the gradient. I mean, that's not a gradient. And then the roof is just the same roof. Yeah, I'm gonna go and start a new conversation. And I'm gonna go and make an attempt for this house, because I think it's getting too focused on the previous house. And there it is. I don't think it quite understood that I want the gradient improving. I did state that I want it with a better gradient. This is not a gradient. Does it? Oh, it goes like dark, light. Okay. The roof is maybe slightly better, but not really. I just think, and the inside is not filled this time. It's just doing a worse job. I was thinking that it would at least match what it was doing before, which I think, in my opinion, was better than this. Maybe it was because I was shocked the first time and what it was capable of. But I'm quite disappointed. So the next house is Colourful Gradient House. There we go. So this was when I just said use a more colourful gradient. For this one, I think I'm going to say, can you tell me what you did wrong? And then you could ask it to improve on that. I might also see if I can attach multiple files, so I can do a front view and then a side view, because the gradient here is much better from a side view. Okay, so /reload. And then if I clear it, there we go. And now we should have a second gradient house improved. Oh, it's maybe, is it full on the inside? Oh, it is of blue. What's this? Light blue terracotta. The thing is, last time I thought it was really doing a good job at knowing what was going on in 3D space. I mean, it has done... This is the rainbow. This is the rainbow colours, and it has done that in order. But then it's got confused with this wall. For some reason, it's messing up in a way that it didn't really do last time. And I don't know if this is because Chat GPT has been updated since last time, or if the images are just confusing it. But it's not done a bad job. It's not done too bad. I'm being quite harsh, I think. It has given me a gradient, a colourful gradient. It has done more what I expected the first time. Also, it's not the same house. I have just realised that. All I asked it was to improve the gradient. I forgot it's not the same house. Yeah, I didn't say build a new house. But apart from that, no, very good job. Well done, ChatGPT. Right, so the next house is... When I gave it a specific gradient, I thought it might be interesting to go and look at this again. I know we've just done a gradient, but this was a specific gradient from orange to blue. And it looked like this. It's not really orange to blue. It's kind of red to maybe... No, it doesn't really work. This one might be a little bit more difficult, because in the other one I just said I asked you to make a gradient or whatever, or a colourful gradient. But in this one it's got like specific colours which you might go, well, it does include those colours, so it might have maybe a little bit more of a problem with this one. Where in the other one it kind of just reinvented what I was asking it to do and built that Lego house. This one, it might kind of build a similar thing, because maybe this is the best it can do. Right, okay, so it says from the image and description it seems the gradient might not be transitioning smoothly from orange to blue, or perhaps the layout doesn't properly showcase the gradient concept. So it's not really sure. I'll correct this mistake by ensuring a consistent gradient from orange to blue and provide you with a new list of fill and set block commands for the data pack. Now, a gradient from orange to blue, I think would be tricky for an actual person, right? So I understand why it's finding this so difficult. It can't understand that this doesn't really show a gradient. It kind of does here with like the red, was this red terracotta to orange terracotta to yellow terracotta to sandstone, smooth sandstone. But this is nothing, and it doesn't understand that this is nothing, and also that this doesn't go into this, and also it starts off as red, not orange. I asked for orange to blue. I think the problem with understanding these images might be the data the model's been trained from. I do know that OpenAI takes data from web pages, and if that was the only training the model received, this could be limiting. Because all the descriptions of images it has are of what people on the internet have described their Minecraft buildings to look like, and especially if someone has uploaded a picture of a Minecraft house, they might not be very descriptive in what it looks like because they assume everyone can see it. It would be way more beneficial for this task if the model was trained with detailed descriptions of exactly what blocks were used and where. However, for obvious reasons, someone is not going to describe their cozy little cottage built from birchwood like that. It might also be limited on the amount of data it has about Minecraft buildings, because although people share their Minecraft buildings a lot online, they don't always provide descriptions of the images, and the number of Minecraft houses would be tiny in comparison to, for example, the number of cats. Because although there might be the same ratio of described cats to non-described cats as Minecraft images, there will also be so many more cat images. So what I'm trying to say is, if Minecraft was cats, we might be fine. Gradient house, orange, blue, improved. It's really weirdly failed on the windows. This is what I'm saying when I'm like, it kind of, it's like it's getting space wrong. Where before it understood you put a window in a wall, but now it's just like, I'll just put it on a wall. It doesn't, for some reason it's kind of getting worse with that, and like the stairs are in the wall. Like, it didn't really do that last time. I guess last time it was kind of building the same house, so maybe I just got lucky with that house design. Now it's gone from, this is orange terracotta to yellow terracotta, then cyan terracotta, and then blue to blue concrete to light blue concrete. Does yellow and cyan, like if I got like yellow and cyan, I'm really trying to kind of this is very distant. This is very distant. I feel like if you were transitioning through that, like, it would be a stage, but if you did something maybe even a little bit more like this, that transitions a lot better from yellow into cyan, and then you could go into blue from there like that pretty easily. That works a lot better. You can't really just jump to cyan, even if this was actually cyan, which is not, it's grey. It does kind of go from dark to light, which is better than the previous one. Yeah, not too bad, but not great. Let's move to the castle and see if it can improve. It did a really good job on the castle. Let me go and show that off. I think it did a really good job on this. I really like this. I think it was the best thing that it did, because like understanding the shape of a castle is a pretty difficult thing to do. And it's put to improve the design of your castle, I'll add details like battlements, decorative patterns, and better symmetry while keeping better symmetry. It is quite symmetrical. This is why I say I think it's kind of just like, how do you make a castle? Castles have battlements. How do I improve maybe something? Decorative patterns and better symmetry. Like it's like kind of guessing what it's done wrong, which I think is a little bit, I think that's where it's going wrong, I think, because it doesn't actually know from looking at the image what it's done wrong. So there are decorative flags on the towers. You can copy these commands into your Minecraft game to build the castle. Let me know what you like, additional tweaks or expansions. Now, the decorative flags on the towers, this is where I'm like, I think it's kind of guessing at what it did wrong, because it does have banners on the towers. That was something that I was quite impressed at, and we should have a better castle. Ooh. Okay. Better is subjective. You know when I said it seems to have not understood that it's got flags already, or got banners on top? It kind of has, but then replaced them with wool. Maybe this was supposed to be like some kind of window or something. It was talking about like wall battlements and stuff like that. I also saw like in the thing it said it placed a load of torches at -9, 8, -9. It's like placed some torches inside. I mean, it's even got the materials kind of right, I think, if I remember. Let me go and have a look at the previous castle. Yeah, so the materials are quite similar. Obviously now I've just placed the castle within itself, but the materials are quite similar. I think with this one, it's kind of just copied it, and it hasn't done a bad job at copying it, and I wonder if it's because this is quite simple. It's just cobblestone and stone, in which, I don't know, maybe there's a lot of kind of examples of that being used, because it's a very kind of common block to use. I'm not really sure. Let's move on to the final section, which is the hearts. So I asked it first to create a heart, which it did this. Now I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about maybe skipping it, just go to where I did the human heart, but I thought, could it look at this and see what it did wrong? What was wrong with this shape? And I don't think it's going to manage it, but let's have a go. From the image, it looks like the heart shape you requested was incorrectly created as a diamond-like shape with a hole in the middle rather than resembling a proper heart. Yeah, I mean, maybe like that's the result it got back, was it's a diamond shape with a hole in the middle, and it kind of went, that's not a heart. So maybe it's a little bit less impressive. It kind of, in a lot of these, it kind of seems like it knows what it's talking about, and then you look at it a little bit deeper and you go, I think it's kind of, it might have been this instead. It might have just been like that it got another description that wasn't a heart and kind of went, these don't match up, rather than looking at it and going, that's not a heart. I see what I did wrong there. That's a diamond shape. Heart improved. That's not too bad. That's pretty good. Well done, GPT. I mean, it's not perfect. It's a little bit weird. That's what I kind of expected it to do the first time. Now what I thought we'd move on to is the human heart. Now we have two human hearts. We have like a less detailed one and a more detailed one. I think let's just jump to the detailed. So that was this. Right, I've already seen this. Oh my, I wasn't recording. I am such an idiot. But I am very proud to present to you with what Chat GPT now thinks a human heart looks like. Yeah, it's... What is this? It seems to have gotten worse at understanding space. And I'm wondering if that's a change made to Chat GPT, or if that was just... Or if it's something to do with me telling it about images. Like the images are somehow influencing it in a way in which it doesn't work. It was also talking about like a lot of different textures of like netherrack and stuff it was going to add. Let me just quickly look at this. Oh, it does have netherrack. Oh, inside it's put netherrack. That's so weird. The thing I'm wondering is like, I think we need to test if ChatGPT has got worse at this by just giving it the same prompt that I did previously with creating a heart, not give it an image and just see if it can do something that's at least to at least the same level of detail as what it was previously doing, just to see if it has maybe had more training or been changed in some way that's made it worse. Or maybe OpenAI saw my previous video and went, oh no, it knows too much, and got a little bit scared about the AI's taken over, and then give it a load of training where it made Chat GPT believe that this was a heart. Maybe. Would you like a larger or more detailed version? So let me just go and make this into a thing. And then, would you like a larger or more detailed version? I'll ask for more detail then after that, and we'll see. Let's get them both. Still creepy, 1 and 2. This is the first one, and I've got it up on the screen. It's got some terracotta somewhere. Oh, terracotta for like I'm going to say like legs. Like it looks like... it does look like these are like little legs. And then this is like the body, and this is the head somehow. I don't know. Yeah, no. Still creepy, 2. No, it's really not doing a good job at this. I mean, obviously there's got to be some randomness where if you give, obviously, like if I said make this again, it'll give me something slightly different. But it is really doing a much worse job. I mean, it might have just been random chance that we got lucky the first time. But I think throughout, I've just kind of gone, I don't think it's been as good this time. And this has just shown it. This is not a heart. I'm weirdly, like, in the last episode, I was scared about such an accurate human heart. And now I'm disappointed at such an inaccurate human heart. So we've come a long way in this series. But yeah, that's the end of the episode. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you found that interesting. I think that it might be a good idea to maybe I'll go and try this again in the future. Potentially if a new version of GPT, especially if a new version of GPT comes out. But also, like, because I think GPT-4 is kind of being worked on. Because obviously we've seen here that, like, this is a different result. This is a very different result from what we were getting last time. And potentially there are being changes to it as we speak. So maybe that's why. Yeah, but this is quite an interesting thing. I very much enjoyed doing it, and yeah, feel free to go and do it yourself. And if you do anything, show it to me. Try and show it to me. Make some kind of post on whatever social media you use, and maybe I'll see it. Yeah, because that'll be quite interesting. Obviously, it's an interesting concept, and if you do anything interesting, let other people know, because we want to know. We want to know! Anyway, but that's it. That's the end of the episode. I guess it's an episode now, because it's a series. Goodbye is what I'm trying to say. Goodbye! I'm trying to look at you. There we go.